Let's take a look at another example real quick. We're going to ask ourselves again, what's the relationship? So what you want to do is identify where the numbers are, where the variables are. In that case, it's this angle and this angle. First thing to notice real quick, if you can't see the relationship right off the bat, is ask yourself, are the angles acute or obtuse? If you look at this angle right here, all right, that angle, is it acute or obtuse? Remember, the L shape, the box is 90 degrees. So if it's less than that, it's acute. If it's more than that, I can't bend my finger anymore, it's obtuse. So this angle right here is acute. Okay? If you take a look at this angle right here, is that acute or obtuse? So look at it. It's bigger than 90, it's obtuse. So an obtuse angle and an acute angle, are they ever going to be equal to each other? No. So whatever you tell me the relationship is, just know that an acute and obtuse, 9 times out of 10 in the parallel and transversals, are always going to be the ones that are equal to 180. So it's just a quick way to remember, just in case you forget what the relationship is. But let's look at it from what is the relationship. The relationship between these angles, again, and I'll put a ruler right here to give you a quick hint, is, it starts with L. Good. Linear pair. All right, and remember from what I said earlier, all angle pairs are congruent, okay, which means equal, except linear pair and consecutive, anything consecutive and same side. So in this case, we have a linear pair. So we are going to know that those are what? Congruent or supplementary? They're supplementary. So that means that they add up. When you add the first angle and the second angle, they're going to add up to 180. All right, so let's go ahead and set up the equation. All right, so you take 12x minus 9, right? And it says we're going to add them together and then put them equal to 180. So we're going to do this plus this equals 180. So that plus this, 5x plus 19, equals 180. So that plus that equals 180. Once you set up your equation, go ahead and solve your equation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, and there's several ways you can do it. You can combine like terms, there are lots of ways you can do it. I like to get rid of all the numbers that are bothering my variables. So I'm going to take the 9 to the other side. So I'm going to go plus 9. This is gone. Okay. Minus 19. Because that's gone. Okay. And then I can go ahead and just combine like terms and do my addition and subtraction here at the same time. So 12x plus 5x, what's that going to give me? 17x. Okay. Then 180 plus 9 is 189, minus 19 is 170, 170, no, 189 minus 10, 179 minus 9, 170. All right, so 180 plus 9, 189 minus 19 is 170. Sorry, I blanked for a quick second. All right, 17x equals 180. What do you do to both sides now? All right, go ahead and divide both sides by 17. You're going to get x is equal to, now 170 divided by 17 is going to be 10. X is equal to 10. Now, I found out what x is. Again, here there's no specific question. I'm going to go ahead and check my answer. If it had asked me for x, I can stop here, but I can still check my answer. But sometimes in the EOC, again, like I said before, what they're going to do is they're going to ask you for one of the angles. All right, so you'd have to know what one of the angles are. So I'm going to go ahead and check my answer by simply plugging it back into my original question. Okay, so I had 12x, so 12 times x, and x is now 10, minus 9, plus 5 times 10, because x is now 10, plus 19 equals 180. And if I've done this correctly, all this is going to be equal to 180. Well, 12 times 10 is 120, minus 9 plus 5 times 10 is 50, plus 19 equals 180. All right, let's just do what's easy. 120 plus 50 is 170. 170 plus 19 is 189. Minus 9 is 180. So 180 equals 180. If they balance, I did this correctly. So I've done it correctly. Now, let's say, for example, that they asked you not to find x, but they asked you to find this angle right here. Then you would simply plug in what you found for x in this angle. So if we're finding this angle is going to be 12 times 10, which is 120. 120 minus 9, right, is 111. So this angle right here is equal to 111. And even without really plugging x back into this one to find out what this is, I already know this is a linear pair, so they add up to 180. So this one has got to be 180 minus 111. And that's going to give you 69. But again, I'm going to plug x in just to make sure. 5 times x, which is 10. So 5 times 10 is 50. 50 plus 19 is 69. 69 degrees. So again, we've gone ahead and solved it. The biggest things with algebra and in transversal lines and parallel lines is understanding what the relationship is. Do you put them equal to each other, or do you add them to be 180? Watch this video 1,000 different times just to make sure that you got it. I'm just going to take a look at 2 more examples, but I'm just really going to look at the setup. I believe you can do the algebra okay. Just the setting up of the equation is all I'm going to look at. So here's another example. So we're going to take a look at this. Again, the biggest thing is identifying the relationship between the 2 angles. So what is the relationship between this and this? Okay. I love putting this here so that I can just get rid of all this extra stuff. Feel free to do that. Feel free to block, put your hands or whatever so you can see what it is. I love drawing houses when I can. See, like here, I see that this is a house. So this is outside my house. That means it's got to be exterior something, right? So I'm going to put this right here and you tell me it's exterior what? Exterior alternate angles. And remember, everything is congruent except linear pairs and anything consecutive. So these 2 angles, what's the relationship? Okay, they are congruent. All right, so if they're congruent, what do? How do you set up the equation? Congruent means equal, so you're going to say that this angle is equal to this angle. This angle is equal to that angle. Either way, it's the same thing. So 9x plus 1 equals negative 5x plus 10x. Okay, the rest of it is just algebra. What I want you to do is solve it, find out what x is. Also, what I want you to do is find out what this angle here is and what this angle here is. All right, go ahead and do that now.